Is God calling you? This is a series of reflections by young men at Divine Word College in Epworth, Iowa, who heard God's call and are answering it, each in their own way.
This morning we welcome to the podium a guest reflector who will inspire us by the story of his vocation.
Dear fathers, brothers, and sisters, one of my classmates should have said something like this morning. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our Eucharistic celebration. Today is September 25th. Our presider today is Father Bill Shea, SVD, and the one giving a reflection is me. It is an honor for me to be up here today to share with you how and why I came to Divine Word College. First of all, I would like to thank Father Sonny, my formator, for encouraging me to share my vocation story. Second, I would like to thank my classmates for supporting me in doing it. And last but not least, I want to thank God for giving me courage to say yes to His calling and say yes to Father Sonny's calling. Today, I want to share with you my vocation story and a short reflection based on the reading we just heard. When I was about 20 years old, I was in college, but I really hated school because I did not know who I wanted to be. So after 3 semesters at the University of South Alabama, I decided to drop out. And this is when the fun began. I started to fall in love with money. I thought that money could buy anything in the world. I thought that money would fulfill my life. But I realized that money did not grow on trees. I had to acquire it. I got a job as a cashier at a cool gas station. Some people say they don't know what to do with their money, but I knew exactly what to do with it. I spent more money than I earned, so I had to borrow money from my boss. I was having a good life without knowing what the meaning of life was. I stopped going to Mass, which I found no meaning in it. I did not have many friends. My best friend was my boss at the gas station because she would lend me money sometimes. I worked very hard to earn money, and money seemed to be very important to me. I loved money, but money did not love me. So I called my uncle, who lives in Indiana, and asked him if he needed any help in his nail salon so that I could work with him and earn more money. Unexpectedly, a nice, handsome priest came to visit my uncle. Later, I found out that he was my brother's godfather. After talking with me for about an hour, he asked me if I wanted to come and see Divine Word College. I told him to give me a day to think about it. I thought it over that night, and I thought to myself, since I have been working so hard, I want to have a break. I am going to spend my break at Divine Word College. I thought it was a good idea to give it a try just to stay for a weekend. So I came, I saw, and I decided to stay. After that, I called my boss at the gas station in Alabama, asking her to write me a recommendation letter. And the moment she knew that I would be going to the seminary, she was astonished. She could not believe what she was hearing. She asked me, "Are you sure you're going to the seminary? You have got to be kidding me." A year later, as I was going home to Alabama for my summer break from DWC, I stopped at Memphis and visited my brother's godfather, who is a parish priest in Memphis. While we were having dinner together, he told me, "I was supposed to call your brother, not you." 24 years ago, when my brother was baptized in Vietnam, and when the SVD was still a seminarian, my mother agreed with the SVD that she would send him to the seminary when he grows up. So my brother was supposed to be talking to you right now, not me talking. After 2.5 years studying here, I was interested in going to the Philippines to learn its culture, people, and language. So I applied and got accepted. I was so happy, and I shared the good news to my boss in Alabama. And she was astonished once again. She could not believe that I would be going to the Philippines for 1 whole year. After coming back from the Philippines, I have had such an enriched experience. I have learned that in order for me to be a religious missionary, I must have self-discipline, responsibility, and obedience to the instructions of the superior. Oh boy, that's too much for me. However, as a philosophy student, I have tried to bargain with God, saying, "I am going to be a good boy. And in return, Lord, help me to achieve the qualities needed for this ministry." I believe that God is so merciful and loving to me. God does not want his lost sheep to be lost anymore. I was once a lost sheep, and I don't want to be lost anymore. Every time I come here to pray, I find peace, comfort, and happiness. And it keeps telling me to come back for more. It reminds me when I was working at the gas station in Alabama, I had to give each customer a receipt after each transaction. And under the receipt, it said, "Please come back." And here in the chapel, every time I come here to pray, I see that receipt and it tells me, "Please come back." In the Bible, it says, "Many are called, but few are chosen." I believe that I am called, but I don't know yet if I am chosen. Because from my experience here in DWC, and at Christ the King Mission Seminary in the Philippines, I have observed that many are called and many have left. I did not know that I would make it this far, but since I have made it this far, I wish to continue looking for a meaningful life, looking forward to a bright future, and finding God along the way. In the reading for today, it reminds me to continue to be courageous in everything I do. This is a place where the Word of God is transforming me into a better person. Like the gospel message today is to remind me to continue to be courageous in my words and in my deeds. If God's willing, 2 years from now, I will take my first vows. I will invite my boss and my family members in Alabama. And you know what? I think they are going to be astonished and they are not going to believe me. As of today, I am now discerning my vocation. Each time I come to this place, I ask God, am I going to be a priest? If you want me to, can you show me the way so I would know to follow you more perfectly? And this is my prayer for my vocation. Thank you.
Is God calling you? If this message has meaning for you in your life, we would like to hear from you. Contact the Vocation Office of the Society of the Divine Word, Chicago Province. Listen for God. He may be calling you. Will you answer?